Hey, welcome back to another video, another week at From Vision to Legacy. I'm your host, Erica Marie, and today we are talking about how to turn rejection into redirection towards success. A mouthful, I know, right? But this is for you if rejection has ever knocked the wind out of you, because we've all been there, right? Receiving the no after pitching your service or product for someone to invest in. The silence, those clients or customers that ghost you after promising that, they're going to sign up for your services or they're going to buy your product and then they just ghost you, right? They just don't say anything after that. The closed door when you lose a client or lose a customer. Rejection stings, okay? But what if I told you that it might be your biggest blessing? That rejection is really just a redirection. Okay. It's feedback, it's clarity, it's protection because maybe they're not aligned with your business. Maybe they're not your ideal client or customer. So their rejection is actually a blessing because it redirects you to the people who are supposed to be in your business, who are supposed to purchase from you, whether that's a product or a service. So here's how you flip it, right? Because you might be like, okay, that sounds good, but like, what do I do? All right. This is how you're going to flip it. So imagine this: you've just been rejected. A client or a customer just told you no. They closed the door. They're no longer interacting with you, right? Ask yourself, what is this situation trying to teach me? Analyze that interaction and how it went. Where could you improve? What went well? What didn't? If you have a recording, like say it's a client meeting, right? And you record these and you can review that recording, even better, because now you get to see yourself in action. You can look at the situation and see when they shifted from being open to working with you to saying, yeah, never mind, this isn't for me, right? And that'll help you identify who you need to be looking towards. Maybe there was something about this particular person that drew you in, and then you started having a conversation with them, and either you were turned off by them and you were like, yeah, no, I don't think this is going to work, or they felt that way about you, right? The vice versa, the rejection. What is this trying to teach you? How can I be better? Right? What went well? What didn't go well? How can I fix this moving forward? What do I need to be looking for? What are the warning signs that I'm losing them? You can even look for that, right? And then after you've done that analysis, and I'm not saying spend a ton of time on this, okay? Just check in with yourself afterwards to make a note of what went well and what didn't, okay? You don't have to spend too much time on it. Just do it quickly, maybe 10, 15 minutes, if that. It just depends on how quickly you can review what happened, right? And then after you've done that review, I want you to redirect your energy to where you're wanted, needed, and aligned. So, with that particular instance of rejection, either they didn't want to work with you, they didn't need to work with you, or they felt it wasn't a good fit, it wasn't aligned, right? Or you felt that way. So now you need to redirect your energy to make sure that you're attracting people that want to work with you, need to work with you, and are aligned with you, right? It's a good fit. And a big one, you have to trust the pause. Because normally, when there is a rejection, there's a pause that happens because you need to recalibrate, right? Trust that. Give yourself that time to pause, okay? This pause is often, more often than not, the setup for a bigger yes from someone else, someone who's more aligned, who wants to work with you, who needs you more than that other person did. That's who you're supposed to be working with anyway, right? You'll feel that. They'll feel that. And it'll be an easy yes. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to give you an action step to kind of put this into practice. All right. This is super simple. I want you to think of a recent rejection that you experienced. Okay. And I want you to write down 3 ways that it actually helped you get clearer or redirect you to something better. 3 ways. All right. I'm going to give you an example. It's not a recent rejection, but it was one that stuck with me for a while. So I have a client whom I adore, right? We've been working together for years. They referred someone to me. And I wanted this to work out because, I love that client and they brought this person into my ecosystem. So we had a meeting, and the meeting was only supposed to be for 30 minutes. The meeting ended up being like an hour because this person ended up getting as much information as they could out of me in order to do it on their own. Ugh, that stings. Because at the end of the day, this is what they did. So they said, well, I don't have the money to work with you right now, but I'll keep you in mind for next year. So that's kind of the, keeping someone hanging on the hook, right? So I got hit with that. And luckily I record my calls. So after a few days, after this thing wore off a little bit, it took me a few days. Um, I decided to review the recording, right? So then I played back our call and I watched the full hour-long recording of what we were talking about. And I started making notes on the times that I gave away too much information, right? The times that they were leaning in, the times that they kind of like seemed like they were backing off. And I also tried to identify the moment where they had made up their mind that they could do this without me. And I realized it was about after the third tip that I gave them because I over explained everything. I gave away the thing that they were trying to hire me to do, right? I gave them all the information they needed to be able to either do it themselves or find someone else to do it for cheaper because they didn't like my price, right? And I realized that I did that a lot. And that's why I had trouble at that point with closing sales because I always gave things away in an attempt to demonstrate my expertise, right? And it was actually hindering me, it was hurting me. And I made the decision that from now on, I will start giving them lawyer answers. So, not saying that I'm not being completely forthcoming, right? But I needed to find a way to not give away everything on the first call, right? Because then that takes away the reason for them to invest and have me help them, right? And this is in my accounting firm. So I said I implemented this lawyer answer, right? So when you go and you do a consult with the lawyer, they don't really give you any specifics. They kind of just give you a generalized answer regarding something, right? Nothing that you could specifically apply to your legal issue. That way you know that they know what they're talking about, but you still have to hire them to get your specific solution, right? That's what I started implementing. So that rejection from that client that I really wanted to work out because I was so close with the person who had referred her to me actually ended up just being a redirection and showing me that I was giving away too much. And that's why people weren't wanting to sign up for my services because I was giving them all the information they needed and they figured they could do it on their own. So it redirected me. And then once I started, implementing my lawyer response, that's just what I call it. I was able to start closing sales because I gave them just enough information to let them know that I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing, but not so much information as to where they can do it themselves. I'm not offering to walk them through anything. I'm not giving them free trainings on things because I did that too for a while, right? It was just a redirection. It allowed me to tighten up what I was doing so that I could be more productive, but also more profitable, right? That's just my example. But I want you to think about a recent rejection that you went through and write down 3 ways that it actually helped you get clearer or redirected you to something better. That's your action step for today. Okay? And just remember, you're not being punished when you get rejected. You're being positioned. Okay? It's not a punishment, it's a repositionment. Yes. So you need to keep moving. You're closer than you think. Every no is just setting you up for a bigger yes. As long as you use what you learned from that no to make yourself better for the next instance or the next opportunity that presents itself. Okay. So thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you guys next week when we talk about breaking through those growth plateaus that we hit, right? And the secret to sustainable success. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel, like the video, turn on the notifications, invite your friends, and I will see you guys back here next Friday for another video. And to any mothers that are watching this, happy early Mother's Day because Mother's Day is this Sunday. So here is a happy early Mother's Day from me to you. Enjoy your day. You deserve it. And I will see you guys next week. All right. Bye.